The sharing economy has many faces, from retail at Rent the Runway to home rentals at Airbnb, and that's where my next guest comes in. She co-founded a company for the traveler who wants to try and house swap and switch homes with a stranger. Love Home Swap co-founder and CEO Debbie Wosskow is with me right now to tell us a little more about it. Debbie, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. So it's pretty obvious. I mean, it's straightforward the way it works. I want to go on vacation in Europe. Somebody wants to come to New York, we'll swap homes.
Yes, exactly. So the inspiration was I went on holiday with my very small children to a very expensive hotel in the Caribbean and spent a lot of time in a dark room feeding them with the lights off because I didn't want to wake them up, without any space, without any of the home comforts that I have at home. And on the flight on the way back, I watched the movie The Holiday and thought, does that even exist? Because that's a holiday that I wish I had just had. I wish that I'd swapped my home in London in order to come to LA or go to New York or travel the world. And that was the reason that I set the business up.
So that's how you got the idea?
Exactly.
That's so funny.
So when you're on a transatlantic flight, keep your eyes and ears open, because inspiration may strike for the entrepreneur.
How tough was it to start the business, Debbie? I mean, in terms of getting the funding that you needed, in terms of all of the things that go into starting a small business. Tell us about your journey.
I think if it was easy, then everybody would do it.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm an entrepreneur. That's what I'm used to doing. I'd say that it took us a year to really prove the concept. And what you're asking people to do is to trust you with their homes. And that's a bit different from buying a pair of shoes. What we've seen in the last 5 years is the sharing economy become more mainstream. And when I first started trying to raise venture capital finance, I was told that nobody would ever stay in a stranger's home. And now in 2016, that really is quite normal. So there has been a massive zeitgeist shift around people wanting to make more of the assets that they own, make them work harder for them.
I think you make a great point. And you've made the point that with 80,000 homes across 160 countries, you believe this service is going to open up opportunities for first-time home buyers.
Yeah, it's definitely the case. When you buy your first home, if you can remember back to that time, you have no disposable income whatsoever because you've spent everything that you have earned on that property. Imagine the opportunity to trade that home in order to go on vacation. And a big part of what drives that for our Love Home Swap members is the notion of life swapping. So you take yourself out of your life in LA or in New York or in London or in Sydney or in Cape Town, and you trade that with someone else's life for a few weeks.
What kind of a buy-in have you gotten? I mean, what do you need to do now to really gain traction and take market share from an Airbnb?
Well, the difference between us and Airbnb is definitely around the audience. So we're often an older audience. We're a slam dunk for families, for people who need space, for people who have spent money on a home with value, and also for empty nesters, so for the 50 to 70-year-old retirees who tend to be time-rich, cash-rich, and want to travel. They can take longer vacations. For us, the US market is super important. That's why I'm here with you early this morning, why I'm in LA.
Great.
The US is currently 20% of our business. We'd like it to be way more than that over the next few years.
Fantastic. Debbie, it's a great idea. We'll be watching.
Thank you.